Greetings, everyone. So I'm making this video because I want to document exactly what types of crimes Scientology and Scientologists are guilty of. Not all Scientologists, but if you're complacent in following a lot of these Hubbard policies, you're guilty as well. So bear with me, guys, because this is something new that I'm trying, so I will try to make it I will try to make this somewhat organized and smooth as best I can. So the first thing I'm going to do here is go to copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act, 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, education, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. So the first crime that I want to cover here is aiding and abetting. According to U.S. law, I'm just going to cover the very gist of it. Aid and abet means to assist someone in committing or to encourage someone to commit a crime. Generally, an aider and abetter is criminally liable to the same extent as the person committing the crime. This case from California explains that a person aids and abets the commission of a crime when he or she, acting with knowledge of the unlawful purpose of the perpetrator and the intent or purpose of committing, encouraging, or facilitating the commission of the offense, by act or advice aids, promotes, encourages, or instigates the commission of the crime. Are you listening, LAPD? Just saying. So I'm going to show you guys this video. And like I said, bear with me here. This is the first time I've done this. I'm going to go through I'll skip the copyright since I just read it.
In the withhold. To the point of hand position, sequence of action, you have to get the whole everything, right? And this guy, it turns out that he's a pedophile. And I'm not just talking about any pedophile. I'm talking about he was one of the big top guys. You have to get the whole everything, right? And this guy, it turns out that he's a pedophile. And I'm not just talking about any pedophile. I'm talking about he was one of the big top guys of a network of pedophiles.
So I don't know what the rule is as far as sharing videos, but I just wanted to pause for a minute. This guy, Chris Mallon, was auditing a known pedophile.
He would share. Yeah, he was like, so you have like pedophile networks, right? And they all know each other and they all correspond. And he was one of the head honchos. So any decent, what they would call decent, child imagery or video, he would further it on to everybody else. And not only that, Doug, he was making the fucking shit. So when I say making the shit, this guy.
Did you guys catch that? He was making the shit. I believe he's talking about child pornography. And they covered this up in the UK.
Honestly.
I'm sorry, man. Take your time. Like I said, if you need to take a break, bro, I can cover the chat, man.
It's fine. This guy, he was raping children. And I had to pull it. I had to say, what did you do with this 12-year-old boy exactly?
Fuck me, man.
I want to know all the details. Anyway.
That's called aiding and abetting and harboring a criminal. It's a federal offense. Two federal offenses right there. Not to mention more.
This was the first day. I swear to God, I got home and I was like, I need a fucking drink.
Wait, this was day one of your...
This was day one of him.
What? Of him, not your auditing?
No, this was just him. Yeah, it's not my
The first session with this PC, that's the first thing.
It wasn't the first session. It wasn't the first session. It was further down the line. And,
okay.
Yeah, so I was as someone who's got children themselves, and I had young children at the time, I was, I was mortified.
Okay, guys, I have opted not to show the whole video because I just got to thinking, and that would make this video so long, and I'm not sure if I can share the entire videos yet. I'm not sure of that. But give me some time, and I will provide all the links in the description box. And don't worry, Scientology fair gamers. There's so much video evidence now, there's nothing you can do. Now it's just a matter of time. Okay. I got notes. I'm trying to make this smooth here. Gonna go back to the videos. So, oh wait, I can't go to the videos.
You never thought to go to the police.
It was not an option. We've been raised to believe that the outside world, and particularly law enforcement, is completely evil. Scientology is the only way. And if you were going to resolve anything, we would only resolve it internally. I woke up in a closet naked.
Of all the shooting that we have done, this has been the most uncomfortable. The subject matter is horrendous. The emotion that goes along with it is overwhelming.
I'm assuming that we don't need more evidence than what we've heard for the LAPD to go after and prosecute.
Do you hear that, LAPD? Is anybody listening? LAPD. Okay, now I'm going to go to, sorry I yelled, guys. Now I'm going to go to, an article. I did save it, but I can't find it. I apologize that this has taken a while. I did save it, but I don't know how to get to it. Okay, here it is, guys. It's the Hollywood Reporter. As I said, I'll give you guys all these links. Hollywood Reporter. This is dated August 14, 2019. Leah Remini's Scientology in the Aftermath to End with Explosive Special. Leah Remini is calling it a day on Scientology and the aftermath. The actress and activist, who's been an outspoken critic of the deeply controversial organization since her own exit in 2013, has decided to wrap A&E's Emmy-winning docuseries after 3 seasons. Scientology and the Aftermath's final episode, a 2-hour special filmed in front of a live studio audience of former members, will focus on testimonials alleging that Scientology policies have hindered members from reporting instances of sexual assault and physical violence to the authorities. It is set to air Monday, August 26th. Highly recommend you guys check that out. It's very well done. Sources tell The Hollywood Reporter that the accusations of ape against actor and Scientologist Danny Masterson will be included in the 2-hour special. Anyways, I don't want to read the whole entire thing, but I'm more specifically, since that lowlife he's in prison now. There was one gal by the name of Frances, not sure what her last name is, who was sexually abused by her father as a young girl. She told Scientologists. They covered it up, blamed her, and did nothing about it. And again, as far as aiding and abetting, the whole entire Masterson trial, everything, that was all covered up. I'm just waiting for some of those Scientologists to go to jail, including Miscavige. So now, the next one I want to cover, this is number 2 as far as being illegal in the United States. This is from Cornell Law School. Intimidation is an act or course of conduct directed at a specific person to cause that person to fear or apprehend fear. Usually, an individual intimidates others by deterring or coercing them to take an action they do not want to take. The intimidation may become a civil or criminal offense. Hear that, LAPD? Just saying. Unless that behavior serves as legitimate purpose. See 18 U.S. Code 1514. Victims are not required to prove that they are in actual fear. Intimidation can be proven by words, actions, or other behaviors accumulated. Anyways, I just took a screenshot of that. You guys can go check that out. Now, to show how Scientologists uses threat and intimidation, I'm going to go to the next video. This is just an example. There's quite a few really good Scientology, anti-Scientology, SP suppressives that are revealing a lot of things that had gone on. And I will share all those channels at another time. So here, I'm gonna share both of these, just a little piece of it. 14 years ago, by Hammurabi Rabanan.
If you were using it for profit, you're not using it for profit.
The only one who gives flashback is me. And I think that's because I'm...
You're not using it for profit. No, we're not. We're not making any...
I'm gonna rewind that.
I got video! We got video!
No.
Write it down! Keep on with your day, bro. Just keep walking. We got video! You don't even know they walk right. That's alright. Keep on walking right there. Walking right back to the side.
LAPD's always going to have to sign Scientologists.
You don't want to fight that. Nobody's telling you. I'm here. Nobody's telling you.
Walk with your day. Let's go!
You all have a fucking orgy and fuck yourself. That's what you gotta do. You're all faggots. Let's go. Don't fucking...
You see how malnourished all of them look? It's really sad. They don't even know how sick they are.
That's assault. That's assault. I'm pressing charges.
I can take a picture of you. He has the right to take a picture of me.
That's assault.
So apparently, Scientologists assaulting other people right in front of police is not a big deal. And it's been going on for a very long time. It's not just with Scientology. But it's mind-boggling. And they still get away with all this stuff.
You can't take a picture of me.
It's a public street.
Get off the public street if you don't think it, okay?
Yeah, laws are I'm a photographer. If you take a picture of someone, you have to have the right.
Only if you were using it for profit. We are not using it for profit.
The only one he did twice that was me. But I think that's because I was...
Only if you're using the picture for profit. We are not using it for profit. No, we're not. We're not making any money off of this. I'm a photographer.
Okay, so that's one. I'm going to go to the next one, guys. So we're still on the subject of intimidation. This one, OT3 assault in Montreal by Guy Fox, FOXXX. 13 years ago, 4.9 views. Go check out his channel. And look at how crazy these folks look. I'm sorry, they look freaking nuts. Apparently no captions are available. It's before everybody had these fancy phones that we have now.
Call this off. I don't have a phone. I have a phone. Let's call this off. We're being assaulted. Because you pushed me around. You assaulted us. You assaulted us. You pushed my fucking daughter and we're down.
Oh.
When? Take off your fucking mask.
No, sir.
I won't touch you.
Okay, so I will include all of these in the link description, as I said. See, they've been assaulting people for a long time, and nothing ever happens, does it? They can rape, assault, sexually assault children. Okay, next one I want to cover. Let's see if there's anything else with the intimidation. Okay, I'm going to cover a little more of the intimidation. Victims are not required, that's code 1514. Victims are not required to prove that they are in actual fear. Intimidation can be proven by words, actions, or other behaviors accumulated that can cause a reasonable person to apprehend fear. Intimidation of victim or witness is not permitted. The victim or witness in a federal criminal case can bring a civil action to restrain the person who intimidates them. The court may issue a temporary restraining order prohibiting intimidation of other harassment if it finds a reasonable person may believe the threat exists. The restriction usually is less than 14 days. I'd like to go and look on record and see if that's ever happened with Scientologists. Probably not. While if the adverse party agrees, it could exceed 14 days. See 18 U.S. Code 1514. Next one I want to cover here is harboring a criminal. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Harboring applicable statutes. This is from the Department of Justice. This chapter covers the two statutes in Title 18 which criminalize the harboring of fugitives from justice. You hear that, Davy Miscavige? Fake Davy Navy? These statutes are 18 U.S.C. 1071, concealing a person from arrest, and 18 U.S.C. 1072, concealing an escaped prisoner. Hear that, Davy? Other related statutes which are not discussed in this chapter includes 18 U.S.C. 751 through 757, the escape and rescue provisions, and 18 U.S.C. 1073 through 1074, flight to avoid prosecution or giving testimony provisions. Section 1071 makes it an offense to harbor or conceal any person for whose arrest a warrant or process has been issued, so as to prevent the fugitive's discovery and after having notice or knowledge. Okay. So I was trying to find something directly. I mean, it's kind of hard to find a video of someone harboring a criminal. But the whole Danny Masterson case and all of the sexual assault cases that have gone on in Scientology and have been covered up, especially all the auditing materials and prints that they have burned in fires and that's destroying evidence. Okay. Okay, the next one I want to go... Next one I'm going to go through here is suppression of evidence. That's number 4. Oh, I have a lot here with the harboring. Anyways, I'm not going to read that whole thing. I believe this one was from Cornell Law School as well. Suppression of evidence. Suppression of evidence is a pretrial proceeding to prevent evidence from being shown at trial, which could be lawful or unlawful. Lawful suppression of evidence means the judge rejects the use of the evidence in the court because they think that the evidence may be inadmissible due to a violation of the Constitution. Well, do we really still have a Constitution? Or other statutes that permit the evidence to be excluded. For instance, the evidence is obtained in violation of the constitutional rights of a defendant. Yeah, the ones that were stomped on the last 3 years. The suppression request is usually raised by a pretrial motion made by a criminal defendant. The admissibility of evidence is a preliminary question that can only be resolved by the judge. Once the judge believes the evidence should be suppressed, it will not go to the trial. I was more so talking about people that actually take the evidence and hide it. Lara FM talks about how when she was younger and at the, I think they call it the Inch Ranch, where they have child labor, separating children from their parents, and all that evil stuff that went on there. She talked about where she was forced to burn evidence regarding the entire Lisa McPherson case, which basically should have at least been a wrongful death suit. They covered up evidence regarding what happened to her, denied her medical care because they wouldn't let her go to the doctor unless it was a Scientologist doctor. So they passed 2 different hospitals, maybe even, 2 other hospitals. By the time they got her to the hospital to be seen, since by then she'd been starved and wasn't eating and dehydrated and very psychotic because they denied her medical care. She was pronounced dead at the scene, and the coroner initially ruled it as, I believe, extreme dehydration and extreme, I don't know, dehydration was on there. And then little Davy and his cronies went in there and intimidated the coroner and made the coroner change his report. I'm sure they threatened him, but apparently threats and intimidation are legal as long as you're in Scientology, with all the billions of dollars that are made on child labor, human trafficking, all the people that they traffic in from other countries, steal their passport, won't give them their passports. So, in addition to that, with the suppression of evidence, I want to bring up Operation Snow White. I brought that up before. That was when, and many people went to prison for it, including Mary Sue Hubbard, that took the fall for the frickin' fake, pathetic, disgusting, low-life L. Ron Hubbard. The Operation Snow White was to infiltrate the government. And they went in, they infiltrated various offices within the government and just did all kinds of espionage and all kinds of stuff. And that was the only thing they made them go to jail for, as far as I know, or to prison, I should say. So as a joke and a funny note here, I just wanted to share, because Tampa Bay Times, they're kind of sorry, but once in a while they do some good reporting. They had an article, Scientology leader David Miscavige, concealed whereabouts, federal judge says. So that might not be suppression of evidence, but it's kind of related to it. Oh, I gotta get some water here. I'm almost finished here. So last but not least, oh, not that. I scraped and scraped trying to find, oh geez. Oh, I forgot to include that. Okay, I'll just read about it. I was going to do a screenshot and I forgot. So, I had a real difficult time finding any information on, like a real defined definition of child labor. So this one comes from U.S. Department of Labor. It's Code of Federal Regulations, CFR, Part 570, Child Labor Regulations, Orders, and Statements of Interpretation. So go check that out. It's so obvious that Scientology is utilizing child labor, having children drive forklifts, all kinds of crazy stuff. Digging. I've heard stories from Mike Brown, 101, the military guy that was in it when he was younger. They were digging ditches. They were running electrical wires. That's what children should be doing, because children are adults in child bodies, or whatever they say. Children are not children, right? So go check that one out. And the next video I'm going to share with you guys is from Darth Zander, D-A-R-T-H, Zander, Z-A-N-D-E-R. So apparently only because Scientology calls himself a church, they can traffic children, they can sexually assault children without any repercussions, they can tell children that they're they're adults living in children's bodies, and they can make them not go to school, and all kinds of stuff, just because they falsely call themselves a church. Wow, it looks like child trafficking, doesn't it? I'd call that child trafficking. I would call that child trafficking. And you guys can go check out Serge Del Mar. He goes into a lot of details. Wait. Child trafficking, anyone? Is that enough evidence? That was 2011, but who knows where that child is now. All this evidence. All this evidence. Probably going to be indoctrinated. Anyways, there's so much evidence online now, and I'm actually just waiting to see. Things are going to start unfolding. And by the way, I'm going to go look this up real quick. I want to show you something. Give me a minute here. Creepy as F. This is like the most creepy freaking building I've ever seen. And so from insiders, people that actually used to be in Scientology, Lara FM had explained that a lot of these, I guess all the windows are actually boarded up. They're boarded up. One, so people can't escape. And who knows what else. They probably don't want anyone getting video coverage of all the abuse that they do. But then, I was watching another guy the other day, I forget his name, SG something. He had some insider knowledge that inside of that blue building, every single room, because they live like in dorms, and I guess there's rats and roaches in there, it's pretty much a health code violation, probably a fire violation as well, but, you know, what do I know? Apparently, the people that live in these dorm-like buildings, every single room has video and audio recording. Last but not least, go check out Scientology Audit, his last video. And there are a lot of people recording now. You've got Confident Chris, Jessica Palmadessa, and there's a bunch of other. Angry Gay Pope's doing some good stuff too, as far as I can tell. Now, here we go. Here we go. LAPD's finest that support child trafficking, elder abuse, financial fraud, financial abuse, and all the other things that go along with it. Look at this fool. Look at him. Just looking right into the camera. One of the protesters, or I don't even know if you want to call it a protester, but because they're trying to save people's lives, were assaulted by this dog and was bitten. And this officer, if you want to call him that, refused to arrest the guy. And mind you, it's all on video camera. This guy, this fool, had his dog biting people. And I don't wish for anything bad to happen to the dog, but things are so out of control. And I just want to know what's going on in LAPD. Like, what's up with that? I'm sure some of these officers are decent people, but there are a lot of them that are not. And if you are complacent going along with this garbage, you're just as bad as anyone else. So can't wait to see what transpires with the arrest that never happened. Have a good day, everyone. Good night. Peace.